Nigeria's political landscape is entering a new phase of debate and alignment following growing opposition to the recently enacted Electoral Act 2026 and renewed discussions about alliances ahead of the 2027 general elections. Former presidential candidate and Labour Party leader Peter Obi has publicly indicated plans to challenge certain provisions of the Electoral Act 2026 in court. Obi says the legal move is aimed at protecting transparency and strengthening democratic safeguards in Nigeria's electoral process. According to his aides, the challenge will focus on sections of the new law that critics believe could weaken electoral accountability and reduce public confidence in the voting system. The Electoral Act 2026 was passed by the National Assembly of Nigeria earlier this year and has since generated intense political discussion across the country. Government officials have defended the legislation, stating that the reforms are designed to improve election management and address loopholes identified in previous electoral cycles. Supporters within the ruling party argue that the changes will streamline electoral procedures and strengthen institutional oversight. However, several opposition figures have raised concerns about the implications of the law for future elections. Political analysts say the debate has become one of the central issues shaping early preparations for the 2027 presidential race. Discussions among opposition parties have reportedly intensified as leaders explore the possibility of forming broader alliances aimed at presenting a unified political front. Sources within multiple opposition groups indicate that talks are ongoing about potential cooperation between parties ahead of the next general election. While no formal coalition has been announced, political strategists say the idea of a joint presidential ticket or coordinated campaign structure is increasingly being discussed within opposition circles. Observers note that Nigeria's political history includes several attempts at coalition building, particularly during periods of strong competition between major political blocs. Analysts say any successful alliance would require complex negotiations over party leadership, candidate selection, and campaign strategy. Meanwhile, electoral authorities have stated that preparations for future elections will continue under the existing legal framework unless the courts rule otherwise. Legal experts say any judicial review of the Electoral Act could take several months, depending on the complexity of the arguments presented before the courts. For many Nigerians, the ongoing debate reflects wider concerns about electoral integrity, political competition, and the future direction of the country's democracy. As legal challenges and political negotiations unfold, attention is now turning to how these developments may shape the political landscape ahead of the 2027 general elections.